Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of STFU, otherwise known as Survivor True Fans Unite. Tonight, we'll be talking about episode 9 of Survivor 48, which is titled Welcome to the Party. And with me are a bunch of guys who are always welcome to this party. Let's say hi to Coach Mitch. Mitch, how you doing?
Everyone doing good?
All right. On the call, we also have Tone. Tone, what's up?
Not much.
Not much. Here to talk about Survivor. Let's do it. And we have Bob. Bob, what's going on?
Hi, not much. Glad to be here. I beat Shane here.
Yes, Shane will be joining us late, and unfortunately, we do not have Andre tonight, so Bob can throw some stuff at him, and he won't be able to reply. Not at least not right away. Let's get this show on the road. Let's start with the big blind side. We got David going out, one of the strong alliance. The ones who said they were always going to play truthfully and never backstab each other and go all the way to the end. And David's voted out. So we got David, Mary, and Star voting for Mitch, and then everyone else voting for David. So let's talk about why David got voted out. Mitch, Coach Mitch, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, all right. So I think it started when they were a strong five, and he brought in a Mary to make it a strong six without asking anyone. Yeah, they all of a sudden Mary was in there, and not only was Mary in there, she was calling the shots, and then still that's sketchy right off the bat. And then I think Survivor kind of got to him a bit in this episode, in which he was paranoid about people in his alliance. Yes, if he wanted an alliance to work, and he's like strong five, now strong six. He just started getting paranoid about the people he was working with, and that to rub people off the wrong way, and especially telling Joe that he went back on his a word and kept doubling and tripling down on it, and like Joe was kind of like the godfather of the tribes. Like you don't want to tell that to him, and then so that caused Joe to hey, start playing Survivor, Yeah, so
I'll add to that a bit. I agree with what Mitch says. And just as an example, there's one spot where David says, I'm going to take a back seat on this one, but immediately followed up with, but Mary wants Camilla.
Yeah, he's stupid.
So he was taking charge of his alliance. He was becoming more of the director there instead of, I don't know, using everybody's input.
He definitely did that. And the crazy thing was, like, he was right. His intuitions were right. His read on people were correct. Kyle and Camilla were a thing, and then Kyle and Shaheen were a thing, and Camilla and Shaheen had just started maybe getting a little bit closer. They just had started talking. So his reads were all right, all correct. I guess it's just how he tried to explain that or talk to the rest of his tribe about that, which was really his downfall, right? Tony, you have anything to add about that?
Kyle and Shaheen were a thing just for a number, and because David forced him to, because like the last episode or the episode before that, Camilla and Kyle were going for Shaheen, so he just needed Shaheen for a number, and he knew he could get his support. Then that's because David was pushing for Camilla. So I can understand the Kyle and Camilla thing, but the Shaheen Kyle thing was kind of like a necessary thing for Kyle.
Yeah, you're right. That was very recent, and that was all brought about by David. David kind of made that temporary
he manifested
alliance.
his own fear into reality.
Yeah. I guess he kind of did, right?
And Kyle and Camilla did have a thing, but they were keeping it kind of keep it on down low until David was pushing for Camilla. Then he kind of exposed it. But I think
Yes.
he would have stuck with his strong five as long as he could, but also being loyal to Camilla. But he would have waited till later. But that just forced it just forced him to expose himself there.
All right, let's go to the other side of the coin here. Was this a good move to do this right now for the people who voted him out, um, especially the people in the Strong Alliance? Was it a good move for Joe, Eva? Um, well, let's say Joe and Eva. Was this a good move for them to vote out David at this point right now? Bob, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, now it's open season on the big guys, the quote unquote strong guys, strong people. It's a good move. I guess we'll see. I mean, they should be able to keep it together. I think even without David, their main core. But now they'll be a little more paranoid. They'll never know who's coming now.
Yeah, I have no idea right myself.
I think Joe's probably beloved by everybody. He seems like the camp counselor there. Everybody comes to him.
Godfather.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I guess we got clues about the next episode, and now people are going. It's going to be like 4 versus 4.
Mhm.
Is it really going to be
Yeah.
4 versus 4? I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
the people who are not in the Strong Alliance are going to actually start playing and start trying things. It might be too late, but they are going to try to start something.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Joe and Eva's decision to vote out David?
I think they could have waited like maybe one more vote or just kept that in the back a pocket. Yeah, but yeah, like Bob said, now it evens up the numbers real fast, and so he knows what will happen. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They could have kept the Strong Alliance together if they would have targeted maybe Star or somebody. But
Or Mitch. They had 3 votes on Mitch.
yeah,
yeah,
Mitch too. Yeah, but targeting Camilla just forced Kyle's hand to like turn on David.
Okay.
because
Okay. Let's check out these STFU power rankings. We got Eva at the top now at 4.75. She was at the top last week too. Finding an advantage probably helped that out, or getting one. Then we have Joe at 4.38. Next is Kyle at 4, who was at the bottom last week at 2.75. But now that David's out, he has much more power. Camilla is now at 3.75. 3.5 for Shoheen, 3.25 for Mitch, and at the bottom is Star at 2.5, and Mary at the very bottom at 2. She was the one of the highest people last week at 3.5, so she's dropped because her alliance member who kept her in the strong 6 is now gone. Okay, so what do we got? What do we think about these tribe dynamics now going forward? I guess
Put Shane on the hot seat. He's here.
yeah.
Shane is
Shut up, Bob.
Shane's not joining.
Welcome.
Damn it,
Oh,
Bob.
this will prove if he watched the episode or not.
Yeah,
Tell us
we'll
what
see
you
if he.
got. What's your insights? Let's see this
Oh,
deep
yes.
knowledge.
Fresh insight.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
What's
Shane,
up? What's up?
thanks for joining.
What's
Let's
up?
get your
Dude.
insights on the tribe going forward. Now that David's gone.
David's
do-
gone. Yes.
First, do
yeah,
a
yeah.
recap of the whole episode.
Yeah. David's gone. Yeah. No, the David. With David being gone, it's good, right, guys? What do you guys think? What's
For
your
who?
thoughts? For everyone.
No, we're asking you.
What are you guys thinking of?
on?
No, what's it, the try dynamics? I think. Well, one, Mary screwed. Wasn't a fan. She was just fangirling over David. Um, I don't know. I think for some reason, even though they got David out, I think like the strong guys are still gonna still work together. I think. I don't think David was like the glue. So I think now it's like a more relaxed version for like the strong guys. I still think Mitch Starr and Kim, well, Yeah, and Camilla. Camilla is attached to Shohim and Kyle, but I still think she's outside of like the main people. We'll see what happens. I guess next week, but I still think Joe and Eva are still gonna run it, and Shohim and Kyle for the most part is gonna be with that group. So unless the bottom guys like Mary stirs something up and it gets like Mitch and Star and anyone else she can going, I think they're still gonna run stuff like the strong group.
I think I think it's all going to come down to Kyle and Camilla because they straddle both sides right now.
Yeah. Who are do they see a path to no winning with or taking to till the end?
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny because they were going after Shohim at first, right? But
and I
now
think if
you
I'm
need him.
Kyle, I
Mhm.
think I might jump over. I think you got a great shot at beating people like Star and Mary. Your biggest challenge will be your buddy Camilla.
Yeah, but how much do you go against this loyal alliance? Right? He has to think jury management. So I think if Kyle, went after David and then now goes after, Joe and Eva, Shohim, I don't know if like jury management would be the best for him.
Depends who he gets there in the end, but if it's him, Star, and Mary,
Yeah, and Mary.
great move.
Yeah, I think Bob's right. It comes down to when Kyle and Camilla want to make their move. Do they want to do it next episode when it's 4-4 and then Camilla just joins Kyle and it's actually 5-3, or do they switch it up right then and it's 5-3? It'll be 5-3 the other way, right? Kyle would join the other four.
Mhm.
Or do they wait one episode when it's let's say Mitch goes this episode, and the next one there'll be 7 people, and there'll still be time for Kyle to flip over to the other one, leaving Eva, Joe, and Shoheen on an island. The problem with that is then who knows how many more like immunities or advantages that the strong three will get that will make it harder. Um, so that's one thing they might not want to wait around for. But like Shane said, there's also jury management. But I think there's gonna have to be backstabbing at some point, and
Mhm.
I just hope that the strong alliance can respect when they get blindsided and get backstabbed and get voted out.
Yeah, I don't know. I Because they are trying to do this whole loyal thing. I don't know if how I don't know how they would react if they got voted out before some of these others.
Yeah, it might open
Yeah.
their eyes and make them realize that you you just can't do that all the way to the end.
Hmm.
Or
Maybe.
that they might vote for Mary or a Mitch or a Camilla, somebody who has less blood on their hands. Is that right? That like okay, if you're Kyle and Camilla, do you want to be sitting beside the other at the end, with them?
What do you mean?
Like
Like
The
you,
other?
Like,
Who's the other?
like they would
because
take each other.
Kyle
yeah,
and
like
Camilla there in the end.
yeah, like yeah,
Yeah,
they go in, because like um
I think I'd rather beat at the end together than against Joe or Eva.
yeah.
But I think, like, say, so these loyal alliance getting voted out, I think hopefully they'll understand and respect that there's layers of loyalty. Like, they may think Kyle voted me out, he's not loyal, but actually he fought tooth and nail to keep Camilla, that was his first promise, right? That's his
Mhm.
number one. So he was being loyal to her.
Oh,
Just
But and then he deceived that group. I don't know,
can't.
man. When it comes to jury,
Yeah, but
yeah,
if you be loyal and then you just do what Joe and Eva says, you're below them, so you have no chance of winning against them anyways. So you're pretty much,
yeah.
if you get there
That's
to the
You're
true.
final, you're just
not
giving them
making
the
any
money.
moves. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be worried if they do get Joe and Eva out. I'd be worried about taking Shoheen to the end.
I think
because
Shohin's at risk actually for this episode coming up.
you think so?
Yeah. Let's say if the previous set it could be 4 versus 4, right? The weaker against a strong alliance.
Yeah.
Somehow, if the weak alliance wins, Eva has immunity. She also has that other advantage to safety without power. She could use that either on herself or Joe. And if Kyle and Camilla wanted to flip to the other side, Shohin's kind of by himself, right? So he'd be at risk on the strong side, I think.
Yes. And yeah, he
Eva
would
and
be.
Joe would be safe. If Kyle flips, he'd be with the weaker side. That leaves Shohin by himself.
Yeah. And I don't think Shohin has enough good relations with the outsiders to
Mm-hmm.
to save himself.
Yeah, like I said, like Shane wasn't here earlier, but the Shohin Kyle thing, that's like out of necessity. He needed Shohin,
Right.
right? And Shane also mentioned they were trying to go. Kyle and Camilla are going after Shohin like a couple episodes ago. So yeah, they're not that loyal. Kyle would be more loyal to Camilla than Shohin.
For sure. Yeah, 100%. He is.
So that's why I
I
think Shohin's a risk.
yeah. I've seen a lot of bitter jury members out there to say like, oh no, they'll actually understand what he's doing. They'll see it. Like, no, I don't know. I don't think they will. They're just gonna see what was done to them, and that's it. That's their feelings.
Yeah, like Maria and Charlie.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to win the money or do you want to help Joe and Eva get the money? That's the other thing.
Well, yeah. If they were gonna go against Joe and Eva, it's gonna like he has to do it in a way where like his hands are tied.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it wasn't like a true like backstab where there's all these people we can vote out, but like we're gonna go after you guys. There has to be some sort of stipulation.
Right. He has to plant it so
his-
that everybody has immunity except Joe and Eva.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Yeah. It's going to be a pretty unpredictable couple episodes coming up here. So let's play the what would the STFU crew do game, and let's put ourselves in the shoes of Eva going to that midnight advantage sort of.
Oh, you're no stranger to this type of style. Hey, Jay, you'd sneak out of your window at night, sneak out of the house, go party it up, sneak back in.
Bob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
Yeah.
tell. It's a good thing my mom's not listening to this. Don't tell her.
Or is she?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Okay, so when she arrived, she immediately got a extra vote, and then she risked that 50-50 for a safety without power, and then she had the choice to play for a 33% chance for a real immunity idol. So let's each of us go through what we would have done if we were Eva in that situation. I'll go ahead and go first. I think I would have just kept the extra vote and not risked for the power without safety. And the reason I say that is because when you use the power without safety, and I think we might have seen it twice, what happens is that you leave, but if you have an alliance there and people are against your alliance, you usually screw your alliance over. And one of them goes home, and then so when you come back, you're down numbers anyway, and you're dead man walking. That was my thought on that. Of course, that may not happen with the power without safety, and you just gotta hope it doesn't. But I would have kept the extra vote because it helps you and your alliance out to get the votes you need at the time you need it. That's what I would have done. Kept that. Let's go to Coach Mitch. What would you have done?
Who? The extra vote. I would have helped. Yes. Then guess that Eva having an idol already makes this kind of the icing on the cake almost. I actually thought that it would have been cool had she got another idol. So, like, I would assume that if I snuck out on no one's thumb and I'd be able to come back so that nobody would know that I could possibly have an advantage. Still having that full idol, a 1 in 3 chance. You guys know me, I'm a gambling man, and that's pretty decent odds, I guess. Yeah, so I know I would have went for the idol.
Okay, and you're also gambling with house money, right? Like she didn't lose anything from getting going to this thing. So let's go to Tone. What would you do?
I think I would have done what Eva did. The extra vote's nice, but well, in her eyes, she had a pretty big and strong alliance already, so they kind of had the numbers. So having the extra vote would be a bonus, but I don't think it'd be much of a loss. And for her going for the power without safety, that's an extra. Like, I don't know if it's transferable, but if it is, and let's say she has her idol, and if she thought Joe was in danger, I guess she could give one or the other to him, so they'd be both safe. And I don't think I'd go for the extra immunity. That'd be a little too greedy. So, yeah.
Yeah, good point. If because she has her idol, she could save Joe at the same time, and then they'd both be around for the next travel. Yeah, good point there. Bob, what would you do?
Well, if I didn't have an idol, I'd take the default prize. But if I did have an idol, I agree with what you said, or what Mitch says. Well, the extra vote helps your alliance, so everybody will be happy with you. The second prize, the safety without power, I think is not a good prize. I would keep on going past that, because if you use that, you're not helping anybody but yourself, and everybody's gonna be mad at you after that. And like you said, you're likely a dead man walking once your alliance loses that vote. So, since I already have one, I'm going to risk it and go for another one.
Going for the immunity idol.
Let's go.
Right. Shane, your turn.
I just want to say that was rigged because Eva's right-handed, so of course they're gonna put it in the right side. It just the way it goes, man. It just rigged. You knew she wasn't gonna. You knew she was at least gonna go one.
They're giving her everything.
Yeah, is this bad? Yeah, you know who the favorite is, man.
They're probably
But-
all immunities.
Oh, maybe. What if? Yeah, rigged.
Oh man,
Andre
Rigged.
would have still screwed that up.
Oh wow! So true,
There it
man.
is.
So
There it is.
true. He would.
Timestamp that, Andre.
But no, I agree with what you guys said with playing with house money because yeah, she had an idol, she had a strong alliance. So really, what was there to lose to at least go one more and get this safety without power one? Um, but I agree the disadvantages of getting it. In those situations, I would like to see someone on the bottom obviously get it, you know, like a Mary or Star or even a Mitch get it. And then
Mitch.
now it's more interesting if they would actually go for the immunity idol. But yeah, Eva's in a good spot. She had an idol, so why would she have to get greedy, right?
The weaker players need to get some kind of advantage. Like, it does suck. I know Jay mentioned it like last week or whenever, but it'd be nice for them to get something.
Oh yeah, for
Turn it
sure.
around.
Like even if one of them just was able to get this reward and just even just with the extra vote.
Send the winners
Right.
on a meal and have some clues available at the lonely camp for the losers.
Yeah,
Like a puzzle
Yeah.
for Star to
Yeah.
find.
yeah. Like,
No,
or,
wasn't it-
like have it there, and at least they get even like just a head start on this thing before the winners arrive.
Like
Yeah.
last season, remember when Saul got the advantage? He gave it to Rachel, and that saved her. and that
And she ended
she
up
ended up
winning.
winning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that came at a reward. Saul got that at a reward.
yeah, yeah. No, but she what's her name? Eva got that other advantage at the reward, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
we're helping out the winners
give
here.
give Eva an advantage to give to somebody on the
Oh,
losing camp.
there you go. Or
Yeah.
she has to play it for someone else.
Mm.
Yeah.
Then she could play for
Give
To play for
her
Joe.
own.
somebody
Joe.
else.
Yeah,
Her alliance.
Give
Yeah.
somebody else's safety without
it's like
power.
you can use an advantage, but not on your own alliance.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Has to be someone on the bottom.
Someone that you don't like.
It's the
has
person
to-
you hate the most. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
play it on them.
You have
Yeah.
to vote for them, and they have to use it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Who are you planning on voting on? That's who would give the
Yeah.
advantage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, good game. Got some great different answers there. Let's talk about that immunity challenge. It's another strength endurance challenge. It's back Joe and David at the end, and it looks like Joe's almost gonna lose, but then David just has a mental slip up and he steps off the platform and I don't know where he loses just before Joe, and he's just totally destroyed because he knew he could have won that one. And to think that if he did win, like he would be around for another episode, but he lost it and he's gone.
Mhm.
What's your guys' thoughts on the immunity challenge? Let's start with Bob.
Having two of the similar challenges like this in a row is not awesome, but
Yep.
David just
It's like
jinxed
the three
it.
almost.
He jinxed it on himself when he was talking about who he'd bring on the reward
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
before winning.
Does that surprise you? He was saying that though.
No,
No.
no.
Yes.
No.
No.
He was pretty confident that he was going to win that.
But awesome for Joe. And you could tell when Joe was picking who he'd bring with him for the reward, and he came up last to pick Eva, and he didn't even look up when he said it. He knew that was not a great decision.
You don't think
they
it-
might be the first super tight, super obvious duo to go as far as they do. Normally, everybody, as soon as you're a winning duo, everybody wants to break you up as soon as possible. But
Yep.
they seem to be leaving them alone.
Because they're nice people. They're
Yeah,
good
no doubt,
people.
for sure.
Right?
Joe's the Godfather.
I thought that immunity challenge would have maybe have been a good place to offer people the chance to sit out for food, just to see who's overly confident, who thinks they're not going to go out. Maybe I don't know. It might have done nothing really,
Well,
because
if
all the strong people were probably going to stay in it anyway because they're all athletes and competitive. So
yeah, and
yeah.
that if I have any one of those people on the who isn't strong, I would just take the food because I know I'm not gonna win for sure against either one of these guys as by the last the previous two have been endurance ones as well, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
good point.
like there's a third one in a row is like boring.
And then they could have had a clue to an advantage for the people who set up.
Yeah.
Give them a chance to
Absolutely.
get something, right? Interesting.
Mhm.
I think this season wants like a physical person to win.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I think Jeff loves strong people and hopes they win.
So is Bob.
Yeah, because they never win. Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
exactly. So he's trying to get more strong people to sign up because they're like, well, why would I sign up if I'm going to be a target right away?
Yeah.
So everything's like a
Yep.
physical thing. Even so wait, last week was what? Was that the pole hugging? Or was that the week before? Last week was pole hugging?
hmm
Yeah.
And the week
Yep.
before was another physical one, right? Was the grip
Yeah.
strength, the bucket.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like nothing's ending with like a puzzle anymore at this
Or,
point.
or balance or
Yeah, usually
focus.
they
Yeah.
balance with 2 phases. One kind of athletic phase and then one brain phase.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this season is geared towards the strong people.
Strong and loyal.
Yeah,
Rigged.
Yeah, it is rigged.
when was a strong a strong person in the final three?
Well, you had a couple guys who
Q.
won a whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
and because they won like the last feud, they made it into the end actually ended up winning too. Ben Drebergen comes to mind, and there was another guy who did it too, a little bit more recent than that. So the only reason they made it to the end, they were strong, they were good at challenges, and the only reason they made it to the end was
They won, yeah.
because they
Yeah.
won to make it there.
Yeah.
But like strong threats that had chances to get voted out usually got voted out.
Yeah, once they lost, right? Or didn't win
Right.
immunity, they're gonzo.
Yeah.
Like Malcolm.
Malcolm,
Joe.
Ozzy?
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Not the first time he played because he made it to the end, but the next, I think he made it another time,
I always felt
and he
bad
got voted
for
out before he made it to the end.
I always felt bad for Joe. He was such a lovable guy. At
Oh,
the
Joe
end.
Englund,
Yeah,
the guy
man
with
bun.
the locks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was good.
Yeah, another physical threat, right? That got voted out.
Hmm. See, that's
But
why I don't go on Survivor, because it's just what's the point, right?
Right.
Yeah,
You'll just be used as a meat shield.
yeah,
And then-
exactly.
and then voted out.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be David.
Okay, let's play the. What would you title this episode game? Title this episode is "Welcome to the Party." I think it was said by Shoheen.
Yeah,
He was-
Shaheen. Yeah, I've been here for a minute. Welcome to the party.
Let's play. What would you title this episode? And so
Me. I'm leaving soon.
Yeah, yeah. Is that what you want to call it? I'm leaving
No.
soon. Oh,
That's
okay.
weird.
Yeah,
Me, I'm leaving soon. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
It's actually not bad. It was David that said it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go with that one. Then. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that was it. Good job, Hans. No, but really, what was it?
Yeah, the douchebag's gone.
Oh wow!
Ooh. Okay,
Wait,
that's-
Cedric's been gone for a while.
No, he's the bitch.
Oh yeah, that's right. So my bad.
Oh,
And there go the
Oh, yeah.
sponsors again.
Yep.
Yeah. We had that one in there again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tone got his answer in.
I got one. I would call it "Got Milk."
Oh,
Ooh.
I like that.
That might give
Yeah.
away the. Yeah.
Oh, the douchebag's gone. Wouldn't?
For one, I don't think they'll actually use that, but
But if they did,
yeah,
Then-
if they did, yeah.
Okay, or could you say David got milked?
Ooh,
Oh.
that's kind of.
It's like you can milk.
Now we're canceled.
Oh.
We're not even talking sponsors
Oh.
anymore. We're canceled.
Oh.
Jesus.
I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
how that's
appropriate,
a
Jay.
metaphor for
Yeah,
getting
Jay.
eliminated.
Yeah.
But,
No, we get what you're trying to do, Jay. We
okay.
get it.
Explain it, please. Andre wants to know.
Yeah, Audrey needs to know.
Well, I mean,
How do you
David
milk?
does have 4 nipples too, so
Oh, ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he got milked.
less nipply in here.
Oh, that's a good one.
Is that the title?
Yeah. Anyone else have any answers?
I was thinking something about you have to go back on your word to play Survivor.
Yeah.
So
Honor among thieves.
like-
There is no honor among thieves.
and I'm sure Joe said at one point to the whole alliance that, they're not going to vote. He's not going to vote for any of them until they're down to the final 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up.
Mary actually said something during tribal that kind of would sting them. Probably like, would you take a shot at somebody who wasn't shooting at you or something like that?
Yep.
Who was never going to take a shot at you?
Yep.
Mm.
But he was looking that direction though. He didn't
Mitch,
have
do
a
you have
chance
a
to.
you have a title?
I thought about a little bit of deception of being only the strong or strongish.
Didn't survive.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
he's
it'd be
back.
like,
Hands back.
When Tone has it out for someone, he has it out for someone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, you're dead to me. That's a good one too.
Wow. Keeps on going.
alright.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Hopefully he has a
Shoheem.
family.
So Shoheem, I like that. Do you guys talk about him planting seeds?
No.
Oh, right, that
Nope.
flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really smart play, right? Instead of going aggressively and saying we gotta do this, plant that seed so they'll notice for themselves and be like, yeah, you know what, that's true. But they're not gonna be like, yeah, Shoheem told me this is happening. They start seeing it for themselves slowly, then they realize it, and yeah, then it grows. So I like
Super
that he
smart
did
move
that.
to get out who you want, but very hard to sell to the jury in the end.
Yeah. You never know
well-
if he plants a seed with a lot of people, and they're gonna be like, yeah, he actually did tell me that, and I
Right.
did see it. Yeah,
Like, hey,
David could have learned from this, right? Be more subtle instead of trying to dictate.
yeah, for sure.
So,
And I think it didn't help when he was like, oh, I should have won that. Yeah, at they came back and he's all distraught and like, oh my god, like,
Oh yeah, it's like
okay, dude,
he's kind
man.
of taking it away from Joe, right?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, everything's centered around him. Like, we get it, dude. You're mad you lost, but don't like be around everyone doing that because, like you said, it does take away from Joe and his win.
Oh,
General episode observation, but does their camp suck? Everybody, when they showed like Eva sneaking out, most of them were shown like sleeping on the ground.
yeah.
Normally they have like a giant big bed of bamboo, right, for the whole group.
Yeah, with a tarp over it.
Yeah, with a roof even, and this one looks like they were just all scattered.
Or maybe it hasn't been raining and are they like just sleeping on the sand?
Yeah, maybe it's more comfortable.
yeah. A lot of the players that have come back from Survivor have said that the bamboo is just really, really hard and really hard on their backs and bones and whatever,
Mhm.
and gives them bruises. And the sand is just more comfortable, even though you're closer to like bugs and stuff crawling all over you.
I did love the shot of Eva going down the trail and Shoheem's just standing watching.
Oh,
Just out of
yeah.
his shadow. I was like, oh, that's creepy.
That was cool.
That was creepy.
That was out of
You
like a
should've-
horror movie or something, right?
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I feel like she was too nonchalant. I could use that word. Like walking down, getting out of the camp. It's like no sneakiness. It was like, I'm just gonna walk down, like Shane McMahon going down to the ring, just like, you know.
Like if you're a Shogun out there, and would you? Then that's if it was somebody out of his alliance, or maybe he would have followed that person. You know what I mean?
Do you,
Yeah, but maybe because this was like a game thing that with an advantage and everything, maybe there was rules where he couldn't.
Yeah.
Really?
But
I
also
don't know.
because it's Eva, like Joseph, even Shaheen probably actually trusts that she's going to come back and tell them.
Yeah. That's why he went to Joe and not Kyle without that information.
So you're saying if you saw like Star do it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Follow. Like,
Yeah.
if it was somebody that's not in my alliance, I'd probably follow him, and B, I would maybe confront them and I'll blackmail them. Maybe.
Like, use your alliance on me, or I'm going to tell you how.
I don't know. Just I'll be like, hey, you have Oh, what do you have on you? You don't have anything? Are you sure? Well, see if you have any. I'll think if I tell so and so that you might have something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was only because it was Eva that he didn't follow her, and he told Joe, and Joe trusted her too.
Would you guys follow if somebody wasn't in your alliance?
I'd follow
Would you
regardless. Definitely.
follow or confront or both?
Follow.
Follow,
Yeah.
but it'd be tough because you'd have to be quiet enough about it, so far away enough, but it's pitch black too. So it'd be hard not to trip over stuff or watch where you're going.
I'd make traps in the path for them on the way back.
Of course you would.
Dig a big pit, cover it with leaves.
I would be too
I know.
scared to go.
Yeah, right. It's dark as hell.
It's dark, yeah, man.
It'd probably be easy to like lose them too if they get far enough ahead.
Yeah, or you trip or something.
But at some point, how do they not see a big bonfire there?
What's on the other side of the island?
I assume it's pretty far.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in the middle of the island they put a big curtain up. So when they're setting up all
Can't
like
see what's on the other side.
when they're setting
Setting
up
up
all the
challenges?
challenges and stuff, yeah. Then they reveal it afterwards. They open the
I
curtain.
want to see a behind the scenes a clip of this. That'd be awesome.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Do we think wins immunity next a week, and who do we think gets voted out?
Oof, immunity, who knows? But I think
Immunity?
who gets voted out might be easier.
Who gets voted out?
I'm gonna say Mitch is gonna win something because he's got food in him.
Yeah,
It's
food.
gonna be some
Yes.
kind of throwing
Let's go.
competition.
Yeah, throw.
Nail it.
Goal.
Yeah,
And
Or
then, or
swimming.
slingshots.
yeah. No, you
I
know what?
hope-
It's
I
gonna be a
hope he
swimming
wins.
one that Star wins.
She's the new challenge guy.
Yeah.
Can't swim.
Jeff, when you call me next time, I'll
Like-
be ready to swim.
How? But did she not see the episode? She casted out every challenge with like water. No, like, wouldn't you? Learn
Unless
how to
maybe
swim?
that's why they've been doing all these challenges because they've had to alter them so that she doesn't have to swim. They can't do any of those race ones in the ocean.
But it's, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that was more team stuff, anyways. All the water stuff, so she could sit out.
I'm gonna say Mary goes home.
Yeah, go Mary. But that's your girl, man.
Yeah.
You're turning on her already?
It's my girl.
Fuck.
I'm gonna.
It's
I just
Survivor.
the way she pulls herself through mud, but other than that,
Like how she
She's-
pulls herself through mud.
She's got nothing. But I think if Mitch doesn't win immunity, then I think he's going home.
Yeah, I think so. He's still like not on any side.
Yeah.
And they're gonna keep. Well, I don't know. I can see Mary because I can see Mary trying to pull something now that David's gone. So I think she's gonna create a lot more paranoia. So we'll see. Not Shoheen though. That's my boy now.
Has anyone changed their winner picks? I can't remember who I picked last time we asked. But who do we think is winning now?
oh, I had Kyle last time, and I think I'm still down for Kyle to win.
Kyle's still a good pick. Yeah, I forget who mine was. Oh, the Canadian Camilla.
No.
Yeah, that was yours.
I think if she
I know
just
who I picked.
she just has to sit back as well.
I had picked Joe, and I'll stick with Joe.
Yeah,
We'll
you
see.
should. You look like him, so
Thanks, man. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
I can't remember who I picked up, but I think it'll be Joe or Shaheen.
I'm pretty sure Andre picked Star.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because she plays basketball.
yeah. Because he's a Okay.
Or
he likes her name.
Kyle.
I think they're gonna be mad at Kyle once he backstabs them.
Actually, I'm gonna go with Kyle and Camilla are gonna make their move next episode, and Joe's gonna go home.
You think they're
Ooh.
gonna?
I think it's too soon. I don't.
If they're making a move to where they are voting out, it'll either be Joe or Eva.
Yeah.
Well, they should vote out Eva because Eva has a better story.
They should, but everybody knows she has an idol.
Yeah, so that's why they gotta
But
blindside them.
the blindside and
Well,
then
they're
that's
gonna
how they
think-
do it.
She's gonna think that they think that she thinks that they're gonna play it on.
That's too many things.
Or
Too many
Joe.
thoughts, man.
Yeah, I have to get an extra negative there to making it negative.
Yeah. There's something wrong with that statement, Bob. I
Okay,
don't think Kyle's gonna go after them right away because I think Kyle's still good with Joe and Eva, so I don't think he has to keep on picking at that alliance. I think he's gonna have a safe vote next one.
Yeah,
Like Joe and Eva aren't going for Camilla.
They'll go Mitch first.
Yep. I'll mention then
Well-
I'll marry.
Yeah.
Kyle and Shaheen are gonna protect Camilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they protect each other. It might, you know what? It might be, unless Mitch, Star, and Mary win. I think I can almost see them just like picking away the outsiders. Because if you think about it, like Kyle's in a good spot because he's kind of playing the middle. He can go with Joe and Eva, or he can go with Camilla or Shohim. So I don't know if he would risk, I don't know, making enemies like right away.
Yeah, we were talking about before. Where they do have the numbers to wait around one more episode after this one coming up, where when it's down to 7, Kyle can flip and make it a 4-3 the other way.
Why do you think he would flip though? Like, sorry, why do you think he would need to flip?
Because he can't go to the end with
Joe
either
and-
Eva, Joe, or Shaheen, really, because he will likely lose to them,
Okay.
right? Who's going to vote for Kyle when?
If I'm in the middle there, I think I've got a way better chance against Star, Mary, and Mitch.
So why would you think like he would have no chance against them? Because if they're in the same alliance and they're making all the same moves and votes, like do you think automatically Joe and Eva because they're
Yep.
more liked?
More,
Yep.
yeah.
Totally, 100%.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
got better stories,
Yeah.
and if they're all making the same decisions all together, then Eva or Joe's story is going to win over Kyle's.
Mm-hmm.
Versus your story of the wart on your finger.
I need $1 million so I can get this thing off.
I played the whole game with this wart.
Oh,
All right.
that would be interesting. I think yeah, jury management is going to be huge at the end, and like if he's staying with Joe and Eva, I think Camila and maybe even Shohim he'll have them voting for him, and yeah, I don't know,
He's
that'll
gonna
be
have to backstab them, and he's going to have to tell them at the final tribal council that he could not wait until it was down to the final 5 or 6, because it would have been too late for him to make his move and win.
yeah,
That's what he's got to do.
for sure.
But the question then is, like you guys said, if would Kyle take Camilla? Would both of them go to the end? And if they were both there, would they be splitting votes because they were both a pair and making these decisions together? Although Kyle would have been more of the guy who was making things happen, but Camilla, was helping him make those decisions. So I don't know if he could even take Camilla to the end.
No, I think once you're deemed as the top 2, then it's fair game to go for each other. Even in just your perception, if you feel that you were the top 2 most likely to win, then it's time to shoot the other one down.
Yeah, well, they're running out of tribal councils to do it. Well, Kyle is. He's got to get rid of everybody. Kyle has to get rid of, well, not everybody. He has to get rid of Eva, Joe, Camilla, and Shaheen to win. He has to keep Mitch, Star, and Mary.
Mitch wins.
And Mitch, yeah, Mitch would win if he kept Mitch, actually.
Yeah. David,
Yeah.
I
So
think
he has to be
everything.
Kyle, Star, and Mary.
I still think he has a shot over Shaheen.
Yeah, he might.
No way.
He might.
No way anyone wants to take a Mitch to a final 3. There's no way.
Yeah. I still think David, Joe, Eva, and Camilla. If he cuts Camilla, then I think they're going to be disgruntled. And they vote against them.
But, like, he has to explain, like, he doesn't want to be the third place. No one wants to be third place or second place. In order for him to be the top, he has to get rid of everybody. It's all fine and dandy to get down to the final 5 on being part of the strong alliance, but if he knows he's going to lose out of them, then what is the point? Are you trying to win Survivor or just make it to the end?
For sure.
That's
So
why.
that's what
for
he has
sure.
to try to convince the jury, right?
Yeah, yeah. But how many times, like I feel like in most seasons in the new era, you're voting for the nice person that didn't do all these like fancy moves. It's just the person who's like, oh, I just, I basically sat back and like let you guys eat each other, and I voted where I needed to vote, and like no one had bad feelings against that person. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna vote for this person.
Like
And
when
they don't see the
Charlie lost.
gameplay.
As long as you're the one consoling the person who wakes up with night terrors or whatever.
The jury doesn't see the gameplay. You can tell them all you want, but it's like, hey, yeah, this great gameplay, you got me out. I'm still mad at you. It's there's so many gamers that I thought, man, they have such a good shot. They should see what this person's doing, because in our eyes, they're playing the game. They're doing everything right. Everything's falling into place for how they want it. Then they get to final tribal or voting in the finals, and they don't get votes. Like, how does this even work? Like, you just have to be nice and float to the end, and you're gonna win as long as you don't make anyone mad. That's just how I've been seeing the last X amount of years.
Yeah,
because I've always wanted the gamer
Agreed.
like a Kyle, Camilla, someone who's scheming in the shadows,
Charlie.
pulling all the strings,
won.
right? Yeah.
Jeez.
There's one.
Cassie, was it Cassie should have won when Gabler? Yeah, Gabler won over. Was it Cassie? Is her name? Jeez. That was a huge surprise too.
Yeah, but there's a lot of times when that happens, when when you're watching, you're like, you want this gamer guy to win because he did everything.
Yeah.
And then just to lose at the end, right? So that's
Russell
why I feel
Hantz.
that's why I feel like it's like I get Kyle should get these guys out, but I don't know if it's the best to keep on getting all these guys out. He's gonna have to take his chance with the Joe and Eva sitting beside him, at least one of them. He can't just cut everybody. We'll see.
I think he's gonna lose if he's up against Joe or Eva though.
Maybe he just loses. Bob, your pick sucks, man. Why you pick Kyle?
Just as a conversation starter, I guess.
All right. Well, we'll find out more next episode. It's a good place to leave it there. So let's sign off. And the guy with 4 nipples runs up to you and asks what you're listening to. You tell him STFU. All right. Good night, everyone. Talk to you next week.
Good night.
Audrey sucks.